What's going on, everybody? Tim here, back with another video. Just taking a little walk, still in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and just wanted to turn the camera on and talk about some of the thoughts that were going through my head this morning. And the thoughts that are going through my head, I will admit, are inspired by me being here by the beach. Okay, me and my really good friend Travel Snacks. She's a fellow YouTuber. I'll leave a link to her channel. Check her out. She's awesome. But me and her rented a 3-bedroom condo for the month, like right on the beach, and it was less than like $2,000, which is crazy. Great deal. And we got such a good deal because it's the off season. Okay, like nobody's here. So nobody's here in the wintertime. I'm filming this video in February. Nobody's here, so they're basically like giving these condos away, right? And I got to thinking that like that same condo in the summertime would probably be double, if not triple the price. And I'm like, wow, you get such a discount just by coming when nobody else is here, just by doing what nobody else does. And then I just started to think about life in general, and I started to realize, I'm like, you know what? Life in general, when you do the opposite of what everyone else does, I know for me, and for a lot of other people's stories I've read about or heard about, when you do the opposite of what everybody else does, it seems to work out better. You know, my message for today's video is look at what everybody else is doing and do the opposite. If you do what everyone else is doing, if you follow the system, if you follow the conventional wisdom of the day, you're just gonna get that little bitty piece of the pie. You're just gonna have that same ordinary, kind of mundane, regular life that everybody else has. But if you do something different, if you go outside of the normal parameters of what someone should do, it's almost like you hack the system, and that's when some really awesome things happen because the system is used to everybody behaving in a certain way. The system is used to everybody doing the certain things. So when you do something different, like it doesn't know, it's like, hey, you're supposed to do this, and then I give you your little bitty piece of the pie, but you're not doing that, so I don't know what to do. And that's when you reap like huge rewards in life. Like I said, I know for me, every time I just was like, this is what I want to do over here. And people were like, Tim, that's crazy. You can't do that. Like everybody had the same excuses and reasons why I couldn't do it. Every time I did that, that's when my life got really good. That's when my life got amazing. And so like I'm starting to see a pattern. Whenever, oh, I think there's somebody coming up behind me. Whenever I just like did what society said to do, whenever I followed along with the crowd, whenever I went along with the herd, I mean, my life is okay, but I didn't get those amazing, awesome gains. I wasn't waking up every morning just be like, man, I love life. So awesome that that happened. I almost feel like a lot of the abundance that has come into my life didn't come until, excuse me, I started doing the opposite of what other people are doing. Hold on. So that's why I say I feel like the system is set up and designed for you not to get ahead. It's set up, the system is set up and designed for you to like just get what everyone else gets. And if you want more than what everyone else gets out of life, well then you got to do something different. I think about, and this is in all aspects of life, but like I think of, and this is, we do this everything. There will be a certain ideal of the right way to do things, and everybody does it. And then like there'll be people who come along and do something different, and they get like, they reap the rewards. And then everyone's like, oh well, they're just special. You ever notice this? When someone comes along, you'll watch like a documentary or a biography, and they'll talk about someone who was like, went against the grain, bucked the system, and like they reap the rewards. And then people are like, oh, they're just different. I could never do that. And it's like, yes, you can. You know, but there's always the ideal of what you're supposed to do. If you take like work, for instance, in the 50s and 60s, it was just like, oh, graduate high school, go down to the plant, get a good job at the plant, work there your whole life. That's what the goal was. You just wanted to find a decent job and work there your whole life, right? Then, the 70s, 80s, maybe even to the 90s came along, and like college was accessible to everyone or to most people. So then it became go to school, go to college, then go get a good job. This was a conventional wisdom. And that's even kind of, I think we're starting to see a shift. We're starting to see a shift now. But that wisdom is still kind of being held over a little bit. We are starting to see a shift. What I'm about to say now is going to shake a lot of y'all up. Moving forward, the conventional wisdom that isn't conventional now, but will be in 15 to 20 years, will be become an entrepreneur. Okay? 15 to 20 years now, they will be like, don't go to school, just become an entrepreneur. Which I think that works now because it's not the norm yet. But 20 years from now, when everybody's trying to become an entrepreneur, it's not going to work. Okay? So you kind of have to look at what everybody's doing currently. If everybody's doing it, it's time to stop to stop doing it if you want to reap greater gains than everyone else. Okay? I mean, look at investing. Look at investing. Whenever everyone starts talking about a stock or cryptocurrency or anything, it's time to get out. When everybody's talking about gold and silver, it's time to sell your gold and silver. You know what I mean? Whenever the herd picks up on the scent. I mean, think about it. Yeah, that's a great analogy. If there's a pride of lions out hunting for something, and like, you want to be the lion who sees that gazelle over there nobody else sees, because then you might be able to get over there and get it. You know what I mean? But like, if you wait until all the other lions see it, you not getting it. One of them faster lions is gonna get it. Anyway, it's just like so many things. Even like, I'll take for instance like love. Okay, finding true love. There is always kind of this ideal of the right way to find true love. Okay, one of the big discussions I have on a regular basis is, do dating apps work? Because people now, that's like the normal thing. You hop on a dating app, you try to find true love, can't find anyone there now. There was a time, I'll tell you, when dating 10 years ago, you could find whatever you was looking for on dating apps. You could find love, you could find lust, you could find it all on the dating apps. Everybody wasn't doing it. Now that it's mainstream, it don't work no more. Almost everything in life, when it becomes mainstream, when everybody starts doing it, it don't work anymore. Look at what everyone's doing, do the opposite, pave your own lane. You know, if I have an ideal of something I want to do and people agree with it, if like everybody agrees with it, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that no more. Now, I have a very small like circle of friends, and most of them kind of think like me. So there are times now when I put something to my friends and they all get it, but I'm talking about people kind of outside my friend group, maybe like fringe associates or something like that. If they hear about something I'm thinking about doing and they're all like, oh, great idea. I'm like, that's not different enough, Tim. You're going to get just like regular people results with that. And I don't want a regular people results life. I want a very Tim centric, amazing life. And it's just like, I mean, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. We're all unique individuals. It's crazy. Like, on the one hand, we're taught we're all unique, but on the other hand, we're taught, but we all need to do the same thing. You ever notice this? You're all unique, you're all special, but you need to live exactly the same life. You need to do what everyone else does. I'm learning in life that like the good stuff comes when you decide to be an anomaly, right? If you're taught conformity, but the really good stuff comes in life when you decide to be an anomaly. Okay? And there will be some judgment that comes with that. There will be some people looking down on you. There will be some trying times, some hard times. You don't get the comfort of going along with the group, and getting advice from people who've done it before you. A lot of times when you want to be an anomaly, when you're doing things that are uniquely what you want to do, you won't know anybody else who's done it. You won't know anybody else. When you're cutting your own trail, when you're trailblazing, there's no trailblazer who went in front of you, because there would already be a trail there. So like, there are some downsides to it, and I think that's why most people are afraid to go against the grain. A lot of people never even think about it. a lot, a lot, a lot of people never even think about it. Like, for most people, it's just like, this is what you do, so I'm going to do it. This is what everybody does, so I'm going to do it. And if that's what you want, cool. But if you want a life that feels right, you know what I mean? Like, my life feels right. And I always get to those feel right places when I do the things that I decide I want to do, not the things that like society and everybody else is doing. Whenever I follow conventional wisdom and I'm like, yeah, I better do that because of this and this and this, that's when things seem to get a little weird. I'm not even gonna lie, like this year, I feel like, excuse me, last year, 2022, I feel like I made some decisions that were conventional wisdom, and lots of areas in my life suffered because of it. Not drastically, but looking back, I'm like, yeah, I think that's a byproduct of me, giving into the system. And, my life started in certain areas to go back very normal, very regular. I don't like that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to have a life that looks super abnormal, not only because that's the way I like to live, but also I like to make these YouTube videos. And I'm like, the more I can level my life up, the more I can be like, hey, y'all can level your lives up too. You know what I mean? And it's just, and then, someone may watch a video and get a little inspiration, I would hope, and then they level their life up in certain areas, and then they tell a friend about it, and that friend levels their life up, and we can just keep paying it forward. Nothing gets paid forward when you follow the crowd. Everybody already doing that. Nothing gets paid forward when you're following the crowd. You got to be the anomaly. You want to be the person they're like, did you hear what Pamela did? She went where? She doing what? In all aspects of life. When it comes to your career, when it comes to getting back to the true love situation we were talking about, I will be honest, I don't have the answer on that one. You know, I'm, I'm pretty sidebar. I'm pretty sure that, the cruise in the Home Depot for men, or cruise in the grocery store for women don't work no more. Ain't nobody trying to go to the bar and pick people up. Dating apps, I don't know. I do know there's probably somebody out there who has figured out a way to like meet people and find mates that none of us have thought about. That is probably killing the game. I got to work on that with myself. But whenever you just do what everyone else does, you get regular people results. The system, by its very nature, cannot be set up for all of us to win big. In the universe, there's infinite abundance. In the system, there's only so many like resources, so many things that can go around. What we need to do is tap into universal abundance. Okay? And I feel like that's what we're not doing when we just do what everyone else does. We're strictly living in like our human realm in the system, which has finite resources. It just can't give everybody everything. The universe can't. So like God can't, the source can't. So when we tap into that and we're just like, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do because I think it's going to work out better for me. And I'm really not worried about what everybody else says can or can't work because I know there's infinite abundance out there. That's when you start seeing cool things happen. It can be little things, it can be big things, but just like be the anomaly, be you. Like we all are anomalies, right? We're all different, we're all unique. So it's just like it really isn't, it's almost, it's very telling that like in the times we live in, it's almost radical. This is a radical ideal to tell people to do what they want to do. Follow your intuition, okay? Follow your gut. We say this, but then when someone wants to do that, if their gut doesn't say what everyone else says, we're like, oh, you can't do that. You know what I mean? We'll tell people, follow your gut. Then they say, oh, mom, I want to sell everything and move to China. Ah, you can't do that. You can't do that. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to marry this person. Oh, you can't do that. But my gut's telling me, well, you can't always follow your gut, son. You know what I mean? No, always follow your gut. Always follow your gut. I firmly believe that your gut is just like your subconscious mind, as well as like higher power sending you messages because they can't speak English, because they can't talk directly to you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna walk down here to the beach real quick, and then we'll probably turn around. I'm a firm believer that you have intuition, you have a gut for a reason. And that reason is your subconscious mind, higher powers are trying to speak to you and tell you right decisions you should make. And your subconscious mind and a higher power, give y'all some beach shots real quick. Okay. Too many people out here. We're gonna go right back where we came from. Your subconscious and your gut knows way better than the people in your life what would give you a great life. Oh, beach is looking good today. Too many people down there, folks. You know, your subconscious, and by extension you, knows way better the decisions you need to make to have an amazing life. So like, it may seem crazy, some of the things you think about, like, why do I keep wanting to do that? That doesn't make any sense. It may not be logical. It may not make like rational sense, but it makes sense to you. Okay. And when you act on your gut, your intuition, you act on these ideals that just keep coming back into your mind all throughout your life, 6 months, a year down the line, you're like, oh, that's why I've been prompted to do this, because this worked out, then that worked out. You know what I mean? See, like normal wisdom, conventional wisdom, regular people, they want you to act in a way in which you can see all the steps. Okay. They want you like do this, and then you can do that, then you can do that, then you can do that. But we all know like that's not how life works, right? We all know that's not how life works. Like in life, things just kind of happen. You know what I mean? You never get to see in life, you never see all the steps. You never see all the steps. Even when you think you got it all planned out, you don't know. What usually happens is, some of the steps you might be able to work out, and then things just happen. Things just happen. You can create what you can create, but there's also some reacting. And even a lot of times when we're creating, we're not creating how we think we are. You know what I mean? A lot of times we think we're working towards something when, like, low key, we're actually working to this over there, which is going to work out better. So whenever someone tries to like tell you, oh, behave in this way, then you can do this and this and this, give you all the steps, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know you. Two people can do the same steps and get totally different results because you're different people. I'm a firm believer. And once again, folks, like I said, I feel like I was sliding back in 2022. So this video is as much for me as anyone else. I got to start being the anomaly again. And I hope you're, willing to come on that journey with me. Let's look at what everybody else is doing. Do the opposite. We don't have to work like them. We don't have to eat like them. We don't have to dress like them. we, we don't we don't have to commune with the divine like them. You don't have to do anything like anyone else. In fact, I would argue that when you see a large group of people doing something, it's way better to do the opposite. Definitely way better for you as an individual, because like that's where that really good, I love my life, I can't believe this amazing stuff is happening to me. You know what I mean? That's where all that comes in. At least that's been the case for my experience. Um, and I would challenge you to try it out, see if I'm wrong.